Good Monday morning. Wow. How many times do I say that in my daily broadcast, my daily video posting, right? Wow. Wow, I just heard my kid. I just heard my daughter's Mustang. Yeah. She got a stomach virus. She sick all day yesterday. She left the car show early, and so thank goodness. I thought it was a virus. It was a stomach flu, stomach. She got something. She ate something. Got her sick. So she's driving to school. I heard her car way down the road down there. The rev matching. Oh my goodness, what beautiful weather. I put a little jacket on, and Jesus Christ, it's too damn hot. You're up here where you dress thinking it's gonna be a cool morning, and it is, and then the next time it ain't. Come on, Pop-Ace, let's go. Ah, Jesus, got a lot going on. I won't be able to really make much of a video besides maybe my Maverick time, but man, I tell you, I spent yesterday getting my clutter out of my shop. Just drives me nuts. For me, it just drives me nuts. My cars are filthy dirty and my shop's a mess. I mean, look at this here. I mean, I totally cleaned up my shop where it looks respectable. I think I got a dead mouse or something stinks around here. But yeah, I cleaned it all up yesterday. But it would get trashed all over again. And yeah, anybody know that story? Yeah, so, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, and it's Monday morning for me. It's a busy day. Got to get the guy to work and blah, blah, blah. And so get the dogs up here to do their thing, report to work. My dogs report to work better than anybody. And that's something. That Maverick. Isn't that Maverick so cool? That Maverick is just so neat. It's so nice. I mean, I'm going to drive that today. I want to do about a 200-mile run today just to see how she does on fuel economy. So, yeah, and clean the office up a little bit. How about that, right? Yeah. It's all about cleaning. That's all I did yesterday. After I left the car show, I came back in and spent my afternoon doing that. So, yeah, so what's the Monday morning conversation now? You know, do I change my channel to what am I buying today? Yeah, I thought about that this morning. It'll be fun. Why don't you just change your channel name to what are you buying today? The price is right. Yeah, I hear you. He'll be following my channel. Like, Jesus Christ, this guy's buying something every freaking week, man. This is the guy that talks about the country going broke. This guy's still buying everything. Yeah, I hear you. And that's the irony to where we are in this country right now, which is facts. We witness what I'm doing. Tons of other people do the same thing. I woke up numerous times last night and I read some articles in the Wall Street Journal, and sure enough, used car market, the Manheim is showing in August there was a 4% loss in used car values. Midway September, it's a 2.5% loss, so 6.5%. It's already speculating we're going to be at 9%, maybe 10% down in used car values. But here's what's interesting: it isn't all the cars. So the cars are losing the money. Are now the big cars and the sports cars. But the cars that aren't losing money are the small, fuel efficient cars and the trucks. And it all makes sense because, you know as well as I do, people still have to go to work, and if you have an option to have a more fuel efficient vehicle, you are. If you're a person who owns a vehicle for a business, and you have to work out to make a living, and you're still going to buy a truck. So it isn't just all the way across the board. It didn't talk much about the electric vehicles, but we know that story. Electric vehicles is all about be so lucky to get one and jump up and down, right? And the misinformation age of what the electric vehicle is going to do for you in the world, which is just beyond believable. If you watched my video yesterday, if you did, you should really watch it, because the green agenda machine, it's massive. It's the billionaires, and what are they trying to accomplish, which we all know. It's all about the greed of mankind. So yeah, so today, what's the conversation today, which I really can't speak a lot right now, is I got to get things in order to get it the hell out of here. I've got a very busy day. So I'm going to kind of cut it here and then probably jump back on when the Maverick driving on the road and talk about more of the Monday morning conversations. So stay tuned. Hey, the Ice Age adventures begin. So day begins in the Ford Maverick. And what have we accomplished today? I'm really excited to drive this today, being that Really want to see what the mileage is out of this thing. I'm very curious as to what type of mileage this is going to get, because I got a lot of driving. This will be a 200-mile day. We're at 888. We're at 22 miles per gallon. So in the end, what is the end result for the trip today in the Maverick, which will be my first official day I really drive it a lot. Down in Florida, I didn't drive this much. I drove it home from the dealership, if I remember right. I think I did. But other than that, just not a lot of road driving. So today, this will really sort of kind of tell me what this thing is. So follow me along here in the adventures. I'm gonna get some more things. I can never leave my shop. I never can leave my shop without having to go back and find something. That's really weird. This is supposed to have the Apple Play, but it doesn't show up on the Waze. There's no navigation. Look at this stuff here. This just drives you crazy. There's no navigation. And I thought it was the wireless. I guess you got to plug in my phone. So we'll do that here in a second. Ooh, it's cold in here, man. What the heck? Brr. All right, let's try this again. Now, first thing you notice with this Maverick when you're kind of walking up on it is how easy, it sits so low to the ground. So it's kind of a plus and minus. Meaning if you're the person that likes easy access, this is the vehicle. But if you're the person that wants to be like my kid and have to jump into the truck, you don't like it. So to each his own. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm just going to get my Waze set up. All right, so we figured out the Waze. So you got to plug in your phone. It isn't a wireless Apple Play, which, duh. It's so easily just to assume anymore when you buy a new car, especially like me, that the car has Apple Play wireless capability, and that's only in select vehicles. Hey, you notice me changing out my hat? It's Ford Day, right? Got my Ford hat on. You got a Ford Maverick hat. It's so funny. I bought a Ford Maverick hat down there in Florida, and it's a nice hat. But my dad thought it was for him. And then I was like, hey, I got that for me. My dad doesn't wear hats like that. So, what's this message? So anyways, I left the hat down in Tennessee because I was going to have my Ford Maverick hat on today to go with the theme of the vehicle today. So yeah, so the Waze does work, and you can see there it's pretty that's pretty cool. We got the whole 9 yards, and technology here are dewy, right? So far, I talked about this vehicle many times, but it's just really quiet vehicle. But what I'm really wanting to see is the fuel mileage. Maybe what I ought to do is, where do I change? So here's the menu. Settings. Let's see here. That. Tire pressures. Tire pressures are off a little bit there. So really it's just more about interesting on that. So, you know what? Let's do a hold reset. Let's do that. Okay. All right. Watch my Monday morning conversations. Just a busy day for me. And now I'm on the road. A lot of driving. A long day. A lot of driving. And what I think is funny, how we all operate. You go out and you work your ass off all weekend, and then how's Monday morning play out? Come on. Anybody watch my YouTube channel? Who's gone on the crazy vacation, short vacation, or boating? Like, I used to go boating back in the day when I was a lot younger, and we'd be out like all weekend long, and that sun would just beat that sun would just wear you out. But by the time Monday morning came around to go to work, you're like, you're recovering from the weekend. Yeah, who knows these stories, right? Yeah, you go have so much fun, and you do so many things, and by the time Monday morning comes, you just really want to have the day off. Yeah. Anybody wonder why sometimes people don't come to work Monday morning? Yeah, I wonder why. Called partying too much. But really, that isn't my story. My story is, Jesus Christ, I spent yesterday just cleaning up my shop and getting things in order and blah, blah, blah. So by the time, Monday morning comes around, you're just kind of like, who wants to do this? And for so many years, I drove around in cars 7 days a week. I just don't do it anymore. I'm just like, screw it. I'll wait till Monday. But anyways, back to the conversations. Boy, I tell you what, this isn't the economy channel, or is it? Was this the business channel? Well, I was just reading last night, more news about how the new cars, or I should say the used car market's definitely going down. But the biggest thing is, in the used car market, the vehicles that are losing the most value is the big sedan vehicles and the high-end ticket vehicles and the sports cars, and then the low-end cars, the gas misers, and the truck cars aren't. So overall, here in the last 45 days, going on to the end of this month, you can probably see about a 10% overall decline in used car values, which that just means that for the people sitting on the sidelines, your day is coming, no doubt about that. And then another interesting thing I was reading about was the IPOs. That in the stock market's just getting obliterated. I mean, if you're in the market, if you've got a portfolio, you so well know that your values have tanked and your earnings have tanked, and just a very small sector and percentage of stocks making anybody any money. And then the transportation sector, every one of those stocks is down average of 12%. Why? We know why. We've talked about this many times on my channel. It's just because the day of reckoning is ahead. Yeah, it is. And I know some people are like, don't talk about it. What do you mean don't talk about it? Oh, because you don't talk about it means it ain't going to happen? I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Don't talk about it. It'll be all right. Yeah, hey, the Russians are right over there coming to shoot you, but just don't talk about it, okay? Yeah, look at that fiasco. Look at that fiasco. What is it? We have pumped billions of dollars into Ukraine. Why didn't we just go line up against the border at Ukraine and tell Russia to go home? I mean, sincerely, it's starting to see more than ever that the Russians are a bunch of wimps. They're military. I mean, I'm not a military expert, but I'm blown away. I was the first guy back when Ukraine was invaded by Russia. I told everybody Russia's going to go in there and obliterate Ukraine. It'll be over. Yeah, how wrong was I about that? I was totally wrong. Meaning the propaganda machine of Russia sure fooled me. Yeah, Russia's got nothing to offer besides a nuclear strike, which you think about it, that guy's such a whack job. Yeah, does he go for the nuclear? I mean, in the end, does he go for the nuclear because his citizens don't want to fight for him? So just a really bad situation. But the whole point is that whole Ukraine-Russia thing has disturbed the whole world economy. That's one of the major underlying problems of the world right now. Yeah, right. So why didn't other countries ever stand up to that little short guy with an attitude? Who knows? It's all about the greed of mankind. In all sincereness, we all know wars make people a lot of money. Yeah, hello? Yeah, hello? Do you realize after the 9/11 that happened in this country for all the youngsters, that's when the Twin Towers were taken out by the radical jihadists that wanted to kill us Americans. There's so many conspiracy theories on that. It's beyond believable. But the whole point is, after 9/11, the government wanted to find companies to help make this country safer. So the defense contracting, defend your country, the checkbook opened up for anybody that had any credentials or capability to create a company to help protect this country. You could get a contract with the government, and that went through the roof. You know how many people in this D.C. area made their millions overnight? Oh my gosh. It's beyond believable. Yeah, I'm not lying. I mean, people left and right, the government's just shoveling money like you've never seen. It's not talked about, though, and I've talked about this many, many times in my videos, is you don't hear about the government's shortfall in tax revenues. And I've talked about it in like New York City, this Washington, D.C. area, and what I'm talking about is the amount of income, state income tax and federal taxes are collected from people going to work and doing things and buying things. And And you stop and think about it, you know, the tax revenues are down because people aren't going to work like they used to. I think it's starting to kind of change, but at the same time, you just don't hear a lot about, you know, states. And I even sometimes read how states are actually in very good financial, you know, shape. I don't know, but to me it's puzzling because it's all, you know, based on, if businesses aren't selling as many goods, then that's tax monies that the estates don't see. So, you know, where's that conversation, right? I haven't heard much on that. Will that be the next thing to be disclosed to us? You know, the truth shall prevail is my saying, and I think as time progresses, we're going to see that. So now, you know, talking more about the cars, the car market, you know, when do the dynamics really start to change? I mean, sincerely, when do we really start? This car here, it just gets down the road so easily. I mean, this car this car, look at this, 33 miles per gallon. I know there's no way that's going to continue. And I got this vehicle actually loaded up. I got a decent amount of weight in this vehicle right now. So that's very impressive. And if you listen to me talk, listen how quiet this vehicle is. You know, usually these vehicles that are kind of the more the baseline vehicle, a lot of, you know, road noise in them, a lot of vibration. They're underpowered. The transmission doesn't work right. I mean, if you come from the era I came from and you bought an inexpensive vehicle, not like this thing's inexpensive, but in the realm of things for what it's trying to accomplish and being a price point mini truck vehicle, or I don't think you're not going to call it mid-size vehicle. It's a small truck, the mini truck. I mean, so far just driving this, I'm really taken back on how, more than being in Florida kind of driving it, than me paying attention to more things. You know, the vehicle's tight, should be, being brand new, but the transmission's really nice. It shifts correctly. It doesn't, the power seems respectable for the size of the vehicle. The noise in the vehicle, as you can tell me driving it, seems to be very, I mean, you know, once we get up here in the highway speeds doing 70, 75, that's once you hit the upper speeds at 70, 75, what does that go to? And that's very impressive so far. They're getting 40 miles per gallon plus. Yeah, but anyway, so, you know, going back into the car market, you know, when do let's turn on the adapter. Nice feature. So you just hit that button, then I hit set, and there we are. So we're now set, and this does have the lane assist, doesn't have the blue cruise. You know, you know, great acceleration too. I mean, my gosh, this is a great little vehicle. I can't talk too much great about this vehicle. My dad, he's going to be crying on the other side of the camera here as I'm just enjoying this car that I kind of thought he'd want. Or did I really want it? Who took him to the dealership? Who helped him place the order, right? Who changed the order? Hey, who persuaded him to get the Santa Cruz, right? Yeah. And if you watch my channel, it's like, you trickster. Yeah, Indy behind every tree, Iceman behind every tree. Yeah, so anyways, so in the car market, you know, when do we start to see a change? When you go to the car dealership, and more than ever since pre-pandemic, is the dealership saying, wait, before you walk out the door, you know, that we think we can take another $5,000 off the car or $3,000 off the car, you know, versus what we've all been exposed to is, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, you don't like the price. Oh, well, see you later, you know. Yeah, I mean, that's borderline been, you know, borderline. I'm not calling out car sales guys, but for the most part, if you stop and think about it, you know, the car sales experience has been be so lucky to get your car and, oh, that's the price. Yeah. So when does that start to happen? My theory over a year ago was to be fourth quarter. It's fourth quarter, which we're right there. We're coming down in the last week of September. So I really think it's going to be it's really going to be probably, I say late October or November. I think November, December is going to be the time where, you know, okay, it's time for you to go out and start looking for things, or first quarter next year if you're really patient. But here's what's funny. So the analysts are already saying, yeah, we feel the recession is here. And already one financial analyst is saying, but it's okay because second quarter of 2023, it's going to reverse. I mean, first of all, has anybody really seen radical things happen yet? I haven't. Not in this area. So as far as any radical hardships, I haven't heard of that. Okay, so you're telling me that by second quarter of next year, this fiasco we're going down the road is going to be resolved and fixed and reversed? Uh-huh. Yeah, I just love these guys who are the so-called financial experts. Yeah, all right. You actually live out in the real world. How can people recover when you've lost so much money in the stock market and inflation has eaten up your minuscule pay raise? That's not even a pay raise for the standard of living. How the hell do you recover in 1 month? I mean, 1 quarter. I mean, sincerely, because the fourth quarter, I think, is going to be the big hit. And then the first quarter, I think, is going to be the bigger hit. So second quarter, you're now recovering. You're picking the pieces up. I don't think so. So what I'm doing is I'm just starting now to kind of look at properties. And I'm just kind of now like marking them and identifying them. And I really want to, it's going to be interesting. I'm seeing a lot of these markets now have been on the market 100 days, 188 days, 200 days. So that's the thing you got to look at. If you go look for a home, look at the house that's been on the market. And, you know, the thing is, you know as well as I do, if you're selling your home and it's been on the market for at least 3 months, you're at that point now, what do you do? And that's where the changes start to happen. And that's the whole point about the used car market. Right now, for the first time since pre-pandemic, the car market is at 48 days of held inventory. So that's kind of their norm. So the way these car dealerships work is when you trade your car in, they shop the wholesalers and they look at the auction prices, and what they factor your car is on a 60-day hold, 90-day max. But they kind of think, they try to look at 60 days. So let's just say your car is $20,000 in the wholesale market. They're anticipating that, okay, you know, worst case scenario, they're going to give you, you know, here's the thing, they're going to probably give you $19,000 for your car. They're not going to give you 20 grand for it, because they got to make money off of it. They can't sit in their lot and take up space for free. So they're going to give you maybe 19 grand. With the backup plan, they're going to get 20 grand out of a wholesaler or auction guy. And they know that once you get beyond 60 days, that's a danger point, because the market's changed. That's just too long. So right now they're saying the used car market inventories are back to pre-pandemic levels, which that right there is indication. That's the first time now since pre-pandemic. So right there there's the first little message to anybody out there that the used car inventories are growing. So what does that mean? Well, the used car dealers and the car dealerships want to move inventory. So what are they going to do? It's like anything. They're going to discount the inventory to get it out of there, because they're not idiots. That 19 grand they gave for your car, they got on the lot now for 23, 24, 25, and then it goes to 24, 23. Then the worst case scenario is they got to get rid of it before wholesale. They'll let you have it maybe for 22 or 21. I mean, who the hell knows? If you know what I mean. But once again, used car inventories right now are back to kind of the good old days. So, yeah, and what happens when they start sitting on 60-day inventory? But once again, their goal is to move that inventory within 60 days. I used to hear 90 days. This thing's so cool. So this thing, you never even know. I have a hard time believing I'm doing this speed. I mean, this is beyond believable. I mean, I feel like I'm just putting down the road. Like I told you the other day, the highway driving is really going to start to give this the real true tell-all of what this vehicle really is. And this is going to be, for me, this is going to be super exciting if this vehicle gets, 30 miles a gallon. Just be like, yeah, but man, why don't you just drive your electric car? The electric vehicle is just such a strange vehicle. I mean, they're cool, but it's just like an empty suit. I don't know what it is. It's just different. And, I just have grown up in Ice Age vehicles. And, yeah, don't get me wrong. I drive the Mach-E GT, and is that thing pretty badass? It is. But for me, I'm on a page that I want to be able to have options to get rid of it if I want to. When you have $2 gas, why do you need an electric vehicle? I mean, really. And it's California. Already they're talking about how in California, they're raising the gas prices. But the barrel of oil, here's the barrel of oil is now in the high 70s. It's going to be in the 60s. Barrel of oil by December, without a massive world war or something stupid, it's going to be in the $60 barrel of oil range. The 250 gas is not far away. Yeah, well, the $3 gas for sure is pretty much here. So the whole point is, California, they're raising their gas prices. Well, why are they doing that? Well, because they want everybody to be brainwashed to buy an electric car. Beyond believable. It's maddening. To me as an individual, it's maddening if you have this green agenda that's being run by people that just want to totally control your life. It's bad. I mean, it's bad. But there's people out there donating money to these green agenda movements, where they mass all these billions of dollars of money to go hire the lawyers and lobbyists and get the, to go get what they want, the force of the hand. Just incredible what we're witnessing more than ever. So anyway, so the message, really I'm trying to convey to people this morning on the Monday morning conversations is that it's happening. The statistics are showing it happen. I mean, what else do you need as an individual? I mean, sincerely, what else? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people watch my channel. Some may be like, oh man, this guy's just now getting all negative about this and that. I'm not getting negative. I'm just telling you what the statistics are and what I think is going to play out, because nothing lasts forever. So it isn't, it's, hey, plan for the worst and hope for the best, right? Isn't that the saying? So I don't know if anybody, here's the thing. What kind of befuddles me is the car dealerships made so much money. I mean, car salespeople, and I'm not here to beat up anybody on money they make. That is not the message. Here's the point. If you're a car sales guy making $125 a year, and during the pandemic you made $250, $200, I don't know, okay? But now you're going to be making maybe less than $1. Like maybe let's just say that the next year is kind of more challenging year, and you're making $100,000 instead of $125. Yeah, but if you made an extra $75,000 for a good 2-3 years, yeah, we know that. Who does that, right? Nobody. I get it. We all do it. Oh well, I'm making a lot more money. I can go buy this, do that. That's just who we are. I mean, some people are really disciplined and they're really good about that, and they're smart. I mean, I give credit to those people. Remember the Think and Grow Rich, the 12 steps to Think and Grow Rich? Yeah, I'm talking about number 10. Complete self-discipline. Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest challenge for most people is complete self-discipline. Yeah. More than ever. And the danger is people that start making good money, sadly, their lifestyles change. And what I've witnessed is what's changed? Well, they become a little bit more loose. What do you mean by loose? Well, they start to maybe party more. They have money to party more. They start to go do things they used to not do that kind of takes away from the core foundation of who they are. I mean, we witness this all the time in sports, where sports athletes and even entertainers, but athletes for sure, where they start to make their heyday of money, and then a lot of them kind of lose that momentum. Well, what happens? Well, it's between the girls and buying the homes and boats and cars, and the list goes on and on and on. And what's their lifestyle? Are they partying all night long? Yeah, right. Yeah, anybody Antonio Brown or whatever? Yeah, I mean, you can go through a list of athletes that just totally lose it once the paychecks start getting bigger and bigger. And that's all I'm saying is complete self-discipline. As you make more and more money, do you have the discipline? Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, look at me, right? Yeah, I know. What? How many cars have you bought? No, I get it. And I respect those that have that discipline just to be hammered out. Do what they got to do, but everybody's different. Everybody has a little quirk, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, Maverick, really cool. I'm really impressed. I'm seeing 33.5 miles per gallon. This is just really very impressive. I mean, I just can't get over how this vehicle is just doing a great job. Now we're in the big ends. People don't travel this road. They don't know this turns into an 80-mile-an-hour road. 70, 75. This person just doesn't know. Anyways, all right. Follow me along as the Iceman adventures continue. Hey, let's call the Popcorn Man. They got a hurricane possibly coming down there. Let's see if the Popcorn Man answers this morning. There's my daughter made that picture of my dad. Isn't that nice? Gee. Yeah. What's his Monday morning agenda? Hello? Hey, Dad.
Hello?
Hey, Dad. You hear me? So his hearing aids ain't picking up on him. Hey! Oh, can't hear me. Gonna hang up. All right, let's see if this phone works. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
I couldn't answer you right away. I was talking with neighbor Steve here, trying to find out what they're going to do, but mess in our hands. Garage door busted last night, so we slept all night with the garage door open. The AC has gone out. Waiting to hear from the AC guy. David's out here trying to fix the garage door. We're trying to figure out what to do. And, I feel like I got to help Rachel and Leah, David, with the decision of what to do.
Yeah, right.
And that's why I was talking to Steve, because I know he's got a lot of information, about this stuff.
Yeah.
He's in the same boat. They're trying to decide what they're going to do. He's got generators down at his warehouse, of course, if he needs that. That's the last thing I'm worried about at the moment.
Yeah.
The big issue is what is the surge going to be? And, it's a really heavy surge. We could be in deep doo-doo.
Well, what's the latest? What's the latest? The latest model said it's going to hit Tallahassee.
Well, the latest model says it says it's going to hit Tampa.
Well, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's going to hit Fort Myers too. Now, things could still happen once that storm gets out further on the Gulf, up a little further on the Gulf. It could, depends on what the high and low pressure systems do with, wind direction, wind velocity. Could move it further west, move it further east. But right now, it's like Tampa's right in the eye of that thing.
Yeah, I know. We've heard this story about 10 times over the last 20 years, so it'll definitely be interesting to see how it plays out, because we all know that usually those things change about the last second.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what Steve is. Steve's convinced that our government can control these things.
Yeah, okay, well, I hear you. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, well, that's getting a little radical there, but whatever. But is it supposed to hit Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's supposed to come in here Wednesday evening and Thursday.
Yeah, so what's your escape plan if I don't have one?
Don't have one. Rachel and Leah were talking about going down to Fort Myers with...
no way.
Well, that's what they said this morning, that Fort Myers is definitely in the path.
Yeah, you don't want to be going... Right, you don't want to be going... You guys need to be going inland, not westbound. We don't need to be going southwest. You need to be going more like to the villages or something like that.
Well, see, that's the other problem. If the storm comes in here, it's probably going to go right across the state, right through Orlando, and
Yeah.
just like Hurricane Charlie did.
Yeah, well, my barn office is pretty nice.
Yeah, your mother's not up to spending 2 days on the road, and that's to get out there. The interstates will be all locked up down here. It's already happening. The service stations are running out of gas. I was over at the Raleigh station Saturday afternoon. All 12 pumps had cars at them with 3 and 4 and 5 cars backed up at each one. And then yesterday they ran out of premium and regular. And then they ran completely out of regular. So today I went over there early in the morning, and I got there, and there was only about 5 cars around, but they did have regular. So I topped off the Santa Fe, and I topped off the Ranger yesterday. But yeah, the crazy stuff's already going on, and has been.
Yeah.
So, but we haven't developed an escape plan yet, Gary. We've talked about possibly going to Rich and Cindy's, in Tennessee there.
Yeah, but Dad, that's just as long a drive as to go in Virginia.
I know it. That's what I told your mother.
There's no way.
We're going to do that. Maybe we just go to Virginia.
Well, I think your better thing to do is just to go find a hotel room first, and then evaluate. I would just, if it was me, I'd be thinking more of going to the East Coast of Florida and finding a hotel room on the East Coast and kind of leave it at that. That's what I would do.
Well, probably have to get out of Florida to find out.
Well, I'd go to Orlando. Nah, you don't want to do that. I'd go over to the East Coast, over where Joshua is. I'd go to the Orlando area or something like that. That'd be your better choice, because it isn't going to get hit as hard. It can get hit, but you're not going to have a surge of water where you're swimming around in it.
Yeah, we aren't going to swim long and all that.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying is you really should have more of an escape plan to go over towards Orlando. That's what I would think. Yeah. Because the storm definitely looks like it's going to go north, and it doesn't look like it's going to really hit much of that East Coast area or middle area from, I would say, from Orlando down.
Yeah. Well, that's still an option, and we might talk to Liz. I may give Liz a call.
I don't know. It's not a bad idea, but boy, I tell you, that storm is going to go north. So I don't know why you want to go north up into Ocala when you're better off going more southeast.
Well, that Orlando would be, due east.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's where the villages are.
No, Dad. I drive that road every time I come see you. The Ocala Villages is north. You're going north. You're not going east. You're going way north.
No, the villages are only 20 miles or so north of Orlando. If you fly out of the villages, you go to Orlando.
All right, I didn't know that. I didn't think Orlando was that close.
No. The villages are basically due east of here. Basically a little north, but not much.
Dad, I drive up. It takes me an hour at least just to get up towards the villages, and then I'm another hour up to 210. So I mean, I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me, but it got me.
No, you don't even go to Ocala. The villages aren't as far. They're still about 10-15 miles south of Ocala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I don't know. I would be willing to venture the villages and get hit pretty good. I think you need to be south of Orlando. If I was you, I'd be more on the page of going south of Orlando. Inward would be my thoughts.
Yeah, well, like I say, I think I'm going to talk with Liz and they're saying about that local area, because that'll affect the whole.
Yeah, that's not good. You just heard my dad, and I tell you, those hurricanes, it's like anything. Until it happens, you just don't understand. I mean, who has had this happen in their lifetime? And, I've talked about this. Down that whole Florida area is so exploded. It has exploded. I mean, there are houses just everywhere. And I've mentioned this before. It's like, oh my gosh, so many people from California, New York, Jersey. I mean, that New York and New Jersey's coast has always been going to Florida, but more than ever, every other brother is, going to Florida. And I think to myself, but these people have never been in a hurricane, so they don't actually know about what goes on. Here's the downside. When that hurricane comes into that area, if it comes into my parents' area, not only is the devastation potential just, turns your life upside down, but what people don't know is you may not be able to go back to where you live for a good few weeks, if not a month. I mean, the state shuts down for safety reasons, people getting back. So once you leave, if you leave the state of Florida, that's what I told my dad, I wouldn't leave the state of Florida. I would try to go east and south over closer to the east coast of Florida where it's not going to get hit as bad. Because once you go out of the state of Florida north, then I know this because I've been there. I've witnessed this. You won't get back in the state of Florida. The state will shut down the line to get into Florida. So you can't go back to your house if it's that bad. So example, if the hurricane hits that Tampa area and does major devastation, it could be weeks to a month before they even let you go back into that area, because the cleanup is radical. People don't think this through. Power lines, trees, buildings, debris, it's everywhere. It takes forever to clean it up. I've witnessed this. I've witnessed fields where they're as tall as a 3, 4, 5-story building of debris and a massive, picture a football stadium or bigger, where the football stadium is just full of debris having to be brought off the roads and side roads and main roads. People have no idea. So it's really bad. But here's the point. I've always been befuddled that people have been driving in droves to Florida. It's like, if you guys ever have back-to-back hurricanes, people will be like, I'm done. I'm gone. I'm leaving. Because if like my parents' home, you saw me down there this past summer, I mean, it's truly saddening if something happens down there, because we've been there and we have so many memories of being there and doing things, and like my boat and everything else. Yeah. So if my parents' house had major destruction, and my brother and sister all live right in that same area, and they all had major devastation in their homes, as well as I do, you're probably talking years. You're probably talking a year to 2 years of that house being rebuilt and livable again. Oh my gosh. I mean, people will tell you live in Colorado that all of those fires. People tell you in California that all those fires. They will tell you, yes, when this type of stuff happens, you lose your home. And now, due to the pandemic-related supply chain issues of building houses, you may be out of your house for a year or two. Yeah, sad stories. Very sad. So, this is really bad. My mother and father, my mother for sure, there's no way she's in any physical capability of enduring a storm. There's no way. There's no way. And for my father, just for older people, there's no way they're going to be able to trudge through 3-4 foot of water. The list goes on and on and on. So now, I think my idea is the best idea. I think they should shoot across. Here's the downside. You probably won't find a hotel room, but you just have to, I don't know. Very challenging. Very challenging. Yeah, they really should drive up here to be with me. But you already heard my dad. He's like, no. And we've been through this scenario so many times where, I'm not embellishing here, right at the last second, the storm doesn't go into Tampa. Tampa has been so lucky. I'm not embellishing here, and thank God. But Tampa has been so fortunate on not getting major storms. They've always have skated it. So that, the prayer, go hope and pray for my mother and father and brothers. I mean, for anybody in Florida, this isn't just about me. It's for anybody that has to go through a hurricane. It's radical. And until you've been through snowstorms, blizzards, flooding, fires, you just don't get it until it happens to you. Yeah, my whole house filled up with smoke in December of 2000, millennium year, or not millennium, Y2K year, and I went on vacation for the first time in 2000 after starting my company in 1996, and it's Murphy's Law. A chimney, I have oil heat in my house, not anymore, but I did, and a chimney brick fell down in the chimney, and it blocked off the exhaust from getting out of the chimney, so it backfed into the whole house. So my whole house was, smoked and black sooted. Yeah. We lived outside of the house in an RV for like a month or two. Yeah, I've been down that road. My wife, she looked at me like, what? And we're in dead of winter, and it was the Y2K year where everybody rented RVs. Y2K year, everybody rented RVs, everybody rented generators. I mean, it was crazy because in 2000, younglings that weren't around at this time watched my video, the prediction was the whole world was going to go black. The computers wouldn't figure out, when they designed the computers, they didn't design them to figure out in 1999, 2000 wouldn't be 001. So they figured all the computers were going to lock down and be confused. The power grid supply was going to shut off. Everything's computer based. So for us, it was Murphy's Law. I'm down there in Florida on my first vacation. I didn't take a vacation for 4 years running my company, and the guy that works for me calls me and goes, hey, your whole house is black. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. So then I started making phone calls to find an RV. My wife said, we'll just stay in a hotel room. We have like 4 dogs. We had 4 or 5 dogs. I'm like, what do you do to the dogs? You think you're going to have dogs and I got a business to run out of the property? How is this not going to work at a hotel room? And the nearest hotel room is 10 miles away. I'm like, no, we're renting an RV. And my wife's like, RV? No way. I'm like, we're putting an RV. So I searched high and low, and I finally found an RV. I found an RV, just like one, out of this whole DC metropolitan Baltimore area. It's a real cheap RV. It had like a 5-pound propane tank on it to heat the RV, like a grill tank to heat your RV. So it's the dead of winter, January. The thing has no insulation, so we're sleeping in this piece of crap RV. You could feel the air. My wife, we have like 4 or 5 dogs, like this 26 or 28 foot Rambler, a piece of crap Winnebago RV, and my wife and I are sleeping. Then of course they have the bed at the back of the RV. Well, the way the RV's parked, all the cold air hits it. So we'd be in the bed, you just hear the wind howling. I mean, you could feel the air just coming through the floor. Oh my gosh. And yeah, how long did that 5-pound of propane last? Finally, a propane company came out and they put a big ass tank next to it. But that didn't even suffice because it's a Murphy's Law. It's the dead of winter. And, and we're sitting there, in the coldest time of the year. Snow's come in. Oh my gosh, my wife, she's just shaking her head, man. Like, what's the odds of that? So I know. I mean, ours isn't as radical as some other people, but at the same time, we had to live outside our house for a good month or two. And that was classic. My wife, I don't know what my wife thought we were going to do otherwise. She got me. And this is back where my parents' home that was across the way that we used to all own. It wasn't finished. It wasn't built and completed, so we couldn't move up there and hang out. That'd have been nice, but no, that didn't happen. So here's the thing. Finally the house got done, all cleaned up. They did a really good job of cleanest it's been ever, right? Don't get too personal. Wife would be like, "What'd you talk about on YouTube? That's the cleanest her house has ever been." Since that time frame, right? Yeah. And so anyways, so I take the RV back, and I am sick as a dog. I got the flu. Oh my gosh, man. And that RV wouldn't go over like 65 miles an hour. And I had to drive it it was like an hour and a half away from where we lived. And my wife's following me. And I mean, I am just sick as a dog. And my wife's just like, yeah, right, yeah. The RV story. All right, continue on, right? Dundalk, Maryland, where it's just, I mean, it's an ocean of cars. It's an ocean. I've never seen it that full. I've never seen it that full. So, oh my gosh, you do have to go through the tunnel here too. I forgot about that, but oh my gosh. So just beyond believable what we're going through in this country. Where, I mean, that Dundalk auto, area, I haven't seen it that full since pre-pandemic. Now it's filled to the brim. God, I think the dealers personally, they don't want all this inventory. It gives them a great excuse to say, hey, you're going to pay premium for that car, man. We don't have any more. That's all the story is now, right?
Yeah.
Ford Maverick, it is so much more of a vehicle. I didn't even realize. I think it's funny. You were so fixated on this, and actually, this would have been a great vehicle for you. It's incredible. And it's so funny in how I'm the guy driving the Maverick, and you're driving the nice, expensive F-150 Lightning. I mean, I think that's funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The boss man's driving the cheap $37,000 vehicle. You're driving the $90,000 vehicle. I mean, is that classic?
I didn't want the $37,000 one. The model I wanted was 23.
I know. Yeah. I know that. I think it's so funny. You're the guy that was hell bent on getting a Maverick. Oh my god.
That makes sense.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But the problem is, you shouldn't sincerely. Right now, I'm seeing close to 30 miles a gallon. You should have just bought the regular one, and you probably, with a smaller tire package, would have gotten a good 30 miles per gallon out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And since you didn't buy the hybrid version, the hybrid version's got to be at least $1,500, $2,000 more. What would be your guess?
It's like 15, or 25, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're getting 30 miles a gallon out of the regular one versus 40 out of the hybrid, I mean, but you paid $2,000 more, what'd you accomplish? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't. This is a great work truck. I mean, this really is. I just can't get over how I really thought, but it's got more than enough power. I mean, this thing rock and rolls. It's so quiet, very comfortable, very easy in and out. I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you're a funny guy, Joe. You know why? Because you're the guy that got me thinking about the Maverick. Yeah, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. I wouldn't have gone to Ford if it wasn't for you. It's all your fault. You gotta blame somebody.
Yeah.
Right? But Tommy's probably blaming me for that hideous F-250 Tremor that he's not happy with. It sucks the hell out of gas.
He doesn't like the seat. Where the seat's more the pain in the ass for him.
Yeah, but that thing's a gas guzzler. I wonder what he said. Does he even say that? Does he even talk about it?
It's just the seat. He said you can be in that seat, which I agree. It's like you can be in it for like an hour or 2 hours max, and then it's not. They're not the quality of the Rams got to beat 2-to-1 on the quality of the foam.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the F-150 Lightning. You don't like that seat.
What's to say? It's just Ford. It's just all they're using. Yeah, it's like when they don't use it's different because obviously when you get like the Recaro style seats, those are bolstered, more sporty. But yeah, all these like old men seats and all these trucks they're awfully soft. I mean, it's very soft.
That's funny. They're soft. The old man seat. Yeah. Well, but for Tommy, the old man seat ain't working out too well, is it?
Well, it's an old man seat for like when you're like run around town. It's not made for like long drives. It doesn't. It sure doesn't feel like it's made for long drives.
Yeah, I get you. It's the guy like my dad who goes to Starbucks and goes to the grocery store and comes home. Right? Tell you what, this ain't good. Apparently Tampa's supposed to get hammered. Right now.
That's what I love. The storm, regardless of where the storm tracks, it's gonna hit the western coast.
Yeah, well, that happens. But now my sister's telling me her house is supposed to be underwater. But I've heard this. This is the thing. I have heard this scenario so many times. Remember, my whole family moved down there in 1991, 90. I've heard these stories so many times, and at the last second, the hurricane turns or goes somewhere else. Yeah, who knows?
So fucking,
What happened now?
They're not giving the road crews like even the proper signs. Like the ones in DC, were holding stop signs with slow on the back of them.
Oh my gosh!
So every time they tried to get a car to stop one way, the cars the other way would start going because the slow sign. So he's sitting there like putting his hand up one way and then walking across and then putting the stop sign out the other way. But then half the time they get across the other car. It was just like, it's fucking stupid. It's just fucking stupid.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hear you. Hey, where's Lucy?
Oh, I left her. My mom went there for the day.
She abandoned you? She abandoned you? She got an attitude?
She was sick all weekend. I had to take care of her last night. Saturday night, I had to take care of her.
That's too bad.
She seems fine now. My mom just wanted her for the day. I think she ate something she wasn't supposed to.
Probably. Dogs do that. You know what I mean?
But she seems fine now, though. But,
all right, take care of business. Oh, it's beat up the Toyota Tacoma time. You know, why can't Toyota accomplish this? 30 miles per gallon. I mean, you have no idea how disappointed I've been when I buy these Toyota Tacoma trucks. And they're the worst. Their fuel mileage sucks. I know I beat up the Toyota Tacoma truck a lot, but rightfully so, because it's so overrated. I mean, I get the TRD Pro. I've had all these damn things. I've had them. I mean, why would I badmouth Toyota, being I'm a Toyota guy? I mean, hello? Is anybody here? So for me, it's just incredible on how, you know, unfortunately, this is so funny. Why don't I just dump me off this way? Must be traffic. Yeah, there's so much traffic up there. It just doesn't end, man. We drive these roads, it just doesn't end. It's just incredible. See here, traffic. I mean, I should say construction. Yeah, but I mean, think about this. Look at this truck. I mean, Toyota for me. So many Toyota Tacoma trucks, and it's so disappointing how their fuel mileage is not very good. And you know, the whole idea is you're sacrificing yourself to be in a smaller vehicle versus a big vehicle. But holy crap, my Ford Raptor gets as good as fuel mileage as a Toyota Tacoma truck does. I mean, hear me out. I got a YouTube channel where other people can voice their opinions, and that's fine. They can call me out all day long. But sincerely, I'd love to hear a guy that has a four-wheel drive. You know, this is a four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive vehicle. I'd love to hear the guy say, oh yeah, I've got a Toyota Tacoma and it gets 30 miles a gallon. It doesn't. You probably get 16 miles a gallon at best. All right, I'll give you 18. All right, I'll go extra mile and say 20. Well, hell, if I drove that Raptor on a long trip and drove it the right way, I'd maybe get 20 miles per gallon out of that damn thing. So it's just incredible. So the whole point is, this Ford Maverick, oh my gosh, now I'm kind of starting to see that why so many people are lined up to get it. Because like my Ford Ranger, you're not going to get this type of fuel mileage. Ford Ranger is about a 20 mile per gallon vehicle, and that's about as good as it's going to get. I mean, now I'm talking about a two-wheel drive Ford Ranger. I'm talking about apples to apples, the higher end product with a little more performance-oriented tires and wheels. Yeah, so, wow. Once again, the Ford Maverick, I mean, for me, as everybody knows, the downside is, yeah, you want one, but you can't get it. I hear you. All right. right? See, look, it's 30.1 miles per gallon. And I mean, in all reality, I've been driving this thing pretty hard, actually. If I was really out of this thing, I think I'd be looking at 31, 32 miles per gallon, which that's incredible. Wow. Oh boy, stuck in traffic. So hit the resume button. Cops going everywhere today. Yeah, so 29. So I think that the 29 mile an hour, 29 mile per gallon figure is probably what I'm going to average, just because I'm in so much traffic and in and out. So I mean, this car, I'm going to tell you what, it's just such a fun vehicle. I mean, I am so eating my own words. I mean, here's auto windows. So all the windows in the car are auto down and auto up. And another nice thing is, if you look here, this back window goes all the way down. Now here's that, window go all the way up, and which, a lot of the manufacturers don't allow that. But man, I mean, Ford, I have to say, this is definitely a home run. For sure, a home run on, this being a mini, truck. Now, keep in mind that, is really doing some serious work on their truck. Yeah, no way. It's just not going to work. But for the individual, it just doesn't need like a big truck, but just needs like a little bed. And I mean, it really is. I mean, I'm eating my words. I just really, when I first got this truck down there in Florida with my dad, I just had kind of mixed feelings about it. But now that I'm actually driving it and working out of it, I have to honestly say this is a great package. I mean, bang for the buck right now, this is a great vehicle. And to think I was going to sell it, I ain't selling it. There's no way. It's just too practical. It's not expensive. Gets great fuel mileage. And it's really great to work out of. So for me, I'd sell something else before I get rid of this. Yeah, my goodness gracious. Oh, the adventures, right? Of the, hate you. The person just like, screw everybody. I mean, but here's the thing. Who knows? They may have a medical emergency. They may have something going on. Who knows? I mean, I know they can pull over the side of the road and call the ambulance, but at the same time, people drive down the shoulder of the road, you don't know. Maybe they go to the bathroom. Yeah. Ooh, maybe they throw up. Just pull over the side of the road, right? Yeah, yikes. Disgusting, right? Yeah, so here we are. It's an act on the ways. And see this car here, let's count it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's for 10 seconds plus. So I don't think it'll move. It's too long a time frame. I think it's only a 4 or 5 second threshold. See here. It's not a big deal. I mean, it really saves you doing the pedal. So what I do to this car next? What's the little things that I do to it? I'm definitely gonna tint the windows. Do I get like a little front hood bug deflector? So now this time, nope. It's gonna go. Nope, gonna do it. So, what's the little special things I do to this vehicle? I mean, I've already put the tonneau cover, did the mud flaps. I mean, let's put a pipe on it, right? Yeah, right. So the only thing I can see is really tint the windows out. Do I put a pinstripe on it? Yeah. And maybe a front hood deflector. Yeah, it's lazy time, man. It's 3 o'clock. Jeez, right? Wake up, need coffee. Yeah, this is bad. Living on the road. Fuel mileage is going down. What is this? Alright, well anyways, just trying to keep the entertainment going. As you like I tell people all the time, trying to post videos every day in your YouTube channel. Yeah, it's not that simple. It's not. Yeah, people like, it's boring, click. I get it. One thing for sure for me, We got this truck back like on August 6th, I think. Today's September 26th. So my father had this thing for about 6 weeks. So we got the vehicle here with like 722 miles or something. If I drive this thing this week, you know, I'll put easily 1,000 plus miles on this thing just in 4 or 5 days. Just today will be about a 200 mile day. Let's see how many miles. Oh yeah, we left at 888. I'm gonna get back right now with 1,088, so 200 mile a day. All right, yippee yahoo! Wow, you know, think about this. Not to make light of anything about my parents, the hurricane, you know, but just think about this. So let's just say, well, I mean, you know, I don't know yet if my parents are driving out of there or not, but from my mother and father, if they were to leave, okay, so if they would have left the home, this Maverick may have been left behind, probably. And think about how the transport guy, if I would have done this a week later, here's the point. If I mean, I can only hope and pray nothing like this happens, but oh my God, if my parents would have left this in the garage, and let's just say they got severe flooding down there, it's the tide, you know, basically after the hurricane comes through, it's the surge. So the winds may not be such the problem as more of the surge, and that's where it gets very dangerous. So if the hurricane did come through and they had, let's just say, a surge that put my parents at 6 foot, 8 foot, you know, I mean, for me, you know, even for me, I'm like, I just can't see it. But what I'm trying to say is this vehicle here would have been ruined. You know, even if you had halfway at the interior, the vehicle's totally full of water and electronics, and it's, you know, it's now a flooded car, and now it's labeled. So that'd have been a sad story. So I only hope down the shoulder. But what these people don't know is a lot of times state boys will sit up the road here in an unmarked car, and they're just waiting for them. I mean, it does happen, and that's a ticket for improper driving. Oh, the never-ending traffic, boys, is pretty backed up. I could have gone a different way, and I should have. Out of the back roads around here, and I should have done it, but oh well. The adaptive cruise makes it really nice, but here you go. So it'll just be something stupid. It always is. I mean, just literally be some stupid maneuver by somebody that got themselves into trouble. Here it is. There it is. Bumper cars off the guardrails. Yep, young girl. And here's the other car that, yep, fiasco. Airbags deployed. All day long, every day. Body shop business ain't happy when people ain't crashing. Back to the grind here. Look at this. Rains are coming in, I guess. Did it get rained on? All right, coming back in. This thing just, I mean, it's just awesome. This thing just gets up and goes like nothing. So that major traffic jam, I think, took us down about 1 mile per gallon. So I would say solid 29 miles per gallon this vehicle. If it's just all open highway, definitely 30. So, you know, if you're just doing a road trip, I guarantee you 30. You may get 32. So, you know, the adaptive cruise and all, I mean, just really nice. I can't emphasize enough that this Maverick's even taken me by surprise. So, yeah, it's just a keeper for me. Very practical. So, oh my goodness, right? And look at this here. So we're going to have, yeah, that'll be 200 mile a day. We'll have another 15 miles to go. What the hell is this thing doing? Waze is confused. I have no idea what's going on. But anyways, just kind of probably wrap it up. You know me, I'll think of something else. My hearing aids went dead about 3 hours ago, and since this is a brand new truck, I'm just now working on it, but I forgot to throw hearing aid batteries. in the vehicle, so doesn't that figure? That's the thing, you jump into vehicles, you forget something. So oh, that driving, man. Yeah, I know I'm yawning. Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. Need a cup of coffee, don't I? Day ain't over for me. Just getting back in and do more. All right, I'm going to say this is probably about it for everybody. I'm going to kind of Ford Maverick day. Being the hurricane's coming into my family's area, I can only hope that thing doesn't be a direct hit. That'd be brutal. So, anyways, thanks for watching. You know, it started off the good morning, Monday morning conversations. How'd that play out? Just too busy. Just way too many things going on. So I just hope everybody enjoys my video on the Maverick, and hopefully this Maverick really does, you know, hopefully me driving it really kind of radiates back to you how great it is. There's no competition per se for this model. Toyota doesn't have it. I mean, you could say that Tacoma's this size. I think the Tacoma is a little bigger personally. And the Ford Ranger, I mean, the Ford Ranger and Toyota Tacoma, it's more of the car's going nutty here, the waves. It's the, you know, Toyota Tacoma and Ford Ranger, Colorado, and Canyon, and Frontier, those are all, I don't know of anything that's in this segment. Well, the Santa Cruz, yeah, no way. You know, it's so funny. When we first had that Santa Cruz, I kind of felt like that was a pretty good package, and nah, no way. This is the better package. This was the better decision. So, it's just incredible how this came full circle. If you're following my YouTube channel, you'll understand that whole conversation. All right. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. I need a cup of coffee. Jesus Christ. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Ice Age TV, and stay tuned for some more adventures.